In a society that constantly seeks instant gratification, it becomes easy to overlook the long-term consequences of seemingly innocuous behaviors. Masturbation is one such behavior that is often seen as natural, harmless, and even beneficial for relieving stress or improving mood. However, when indulged in excessively, this act begins to take a toll on one's body, mind, and spirit. While the immediate pleasure may feel satisfying, the cumulative effect on one's energy levels and intuitive faculties is often ignored or underappreciated. The ancient Stoics, including philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, provided profound insights into how we can achieve wisdom and inner peace by mastering our impulses. These philosophers believed that true freedom and enlightenment come not from giving in to every desire, but from recognizing and controlling our urges. They also argued that human beings must cultivate virtue through self-control, mindfulness, and self-discipline. As Aurelius famously wrote in his Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This suggests that our internal state is directly influenced by the choices we make, including how we handle our desires and impulses. Similarly, excessive masturbation, though it may appear harmless, can cloud the clarity of one's inner wisdom. It is not merely a physical act, but one that involves the release of vital energy that could be better spent nourishing the mind and spirit. This is a key point we will explore in this video. The idea that sexual energy, when conserved, can lead to heightened intuition, spiritual growth, and overall well-being. In contrast, excessive ejaculation may drain one's vitality and reduce the potential for intuitive insight. In the following sections, we will examine how masturbation can waste away valuable energy, how it affects intuitive abilities from a scientific standpoint, and the deeper spiritual implications of energy conservation. By understanding the dynamics of sexual energy and its impact on our intuitive faculties, we will uncover a path to a more balanced, empowered life. In the pursuit of instant pleasure, we often fail to recognize the subtle yet profound effects that overindulgence can have on our energy levels. The act of masturbation, while temporarily satisfying, results in the release of vital energy from the body. This energy is not just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. Like a battery that is constantly being drained without sufficient recharging, our internal resources begin to deplete when we repeatedly engage in sexual release. As a result, we often find ourselves feeling drained, fatigued, and disconnected from our higher selves. The ancient Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of living a life of moderation and control. Aurelius often reflected on the nature of human desires and their ability to lead us astray. He wrote, "How much time you've wasted and how many opportunities you've missed by following your desires instead of exercising control over them." When we allow ourselves to succumb to the impulse of masturbation without restraint, we inadvertently squander our mental and emotional energy. Just as an athlete who expends all their strength without rest eventually burns out, so too does the person who depletes their vital energy through unchecked sexual release. Physiologically, masturbation involves the expulsion of semen, a substance that contains not only reproductive cells but also vital nutrients and minerals essential for the body's overall function. In fact, in traditional Chinese medicine, semen is considered a powerful life force, a substance that, when overexerted, weakens the body and leads to exhaustion. The depletion of this vital energy can cause both physical and mental weariness, hindering cognitive function, emotional stability, and, most importantly, the ability to tap into one's intuitive wisdom. Over time, this ongoing depletion can lead to a cycle of low energy, poor focus, and difficulty accessing higher states of awareness. The consequences of this waste are not merely physical. Excessive masturbation can lead to a loss of motivation, an inability to concentrate, and a general sense of apathy. This, in turn, stifles creativity and intuition, qualities that rely on clarity, energy, and focus. Without the necessary resources to sustain our mental and emotional health, we lose the capacity to make decisions based on intuition, as we are too drained to hear our inner voice. The ability to connect with our higher self and recognize patterns of wisdom becomes clouded by the fog of depletion. Ultimately, the waste of energy, when compounded over time, leads to a sense of disconnection. We begin to feel disconnected from our true purpose, and the fog of exhaustion dims our awareness of the world around us. This disconnect inhibits the very foundation of intuition, the ability to trust oneself and the universe to guide us. In recognizing this, we can begin to understand the importance of conserving our sexual energy and the transformative effects this can have on our mental clarity and intuitive abilities. To understand how sexual energy impacts our intuition, we must first explore the science behind both. At the most basic level, intuition is the brain's ability to process information without conscious thought or reasoning. It operates in the subconscious realm, drawing from accumulated knowledge, past experiences, and sensory data to provide quick insights. However, intuition is only as clear and accurate as the brain's ability to process information effectively. When we are depleted of energy, this processing ability is significantly hindered. The neurological and hormonal processes involved in sexual release are critical in understanding the relationship between sexual energy and intuition. When we engage in sexual activity, the body releases a cascade of neurotransmitters and hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and others, that create the pleasurable sensations associated with orgasm. However, this release is not without cost. Dopamine, in particular, plays a central role in the reward system, providing a feel-good sensation that encourages us to repeat pleasurable behaviors. Yet this release of dopamine is fleeting. Once the dopamine rush subsides, we experience what is commonly referred to as a dopamine crash, leading to feelings of lethargy, lack of focus, and mental fog. As a result, the brain enters a state of reduced cognitive functioning. The prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher-level thinking, decision-making, and cognitive control, becomes less efficient. This reduces our ability to make intuitive decisions, as the brain's executive functions are no longer operating at full capacity. Moreover, the energy used to process these neurotransmitter releases is taken from the body's overall energy reserves, which affects not only cognitive function, but also emotional stability and physical vitality. Furthermore, sexual energy is linked to the production of testosterone, a hormone that plays a crucial role in mood, focus, and motivation. Excessive ejaculation can cause fluctuations in testosterone levels, resulting in decreased energy, mood swings, and a diminished sense of vitality. In contrast, when sexual energy is conserved, testosterone levels remain stable, leading to a more balanced emotional state, heightened mental clarity, and an increased capacity for intuitive insight. This is where the practice of injaculation, or semen retention, becomes particularly significant. By redirecting sexual energy rather than expelling it, the body maintains a more consistent flow of energy, which supports not only physical vitality but also mental sharpness and emotional stability. This energy can be channeled into other pursuits, such as creative projects, spiritual practices, and intellectual endeavors, allowing the individual to access deeper levels of insight. In turn, this practice strengthens the connection to one's intuition, as the brain operates at an optimal level and the individual is able to respond to life's challenges with greater clarity and wisdom. Beyond the biological and neurological aspects of sexual energy, there is a deeply spiritual dimension to consider. In many ancient traditions, sexual energy was viewed as sacred, a potent force capable of transcending the physical realm and connecting the individual to higher planes of existence. In Taoism, for instance, sexual energy is referred to as qi, the life force that flows through all living beings. Qi is believed to be the foundation of vitality and spiritual health. When sexual energy is preserved and cultivated, it strengthens this vital force, leading to greater spiritual awareness and an enhanced capacity for intuitive insight. Taoist teachings on semen retention emphasize the importance of conserving sexual energy to nourish the body and mind. This practice, known as Jing cultivation, is said to transform sexual energy into spiritual energy, which can then be used to awaken higher states of consciousness. By retaining semen during sexual activity, the practitioner redirects the energy upward through the body's energy channels, or meridians, rather than allowing it to dissipate. This process of sexual transmutation is believed to lead to heightened spiritual awareness, increased creativity, and greater intuitive abilities. Similarly, in tantric philosophy, sexual energy is viewed as a divine force that can be harnessed for spiritual growth. Tantra teaches that sexual energy, when cultivated consciously, can awaken the dormant potential within the individual, leading to enlightenment and union with the divine. By engaging in practices like mindful breathing, energy movement, and sacred rituals, Tantra teaches that sexual energy can be transmuted into spiritual energy that nourishes both the body and the soul. This spiritual understanding of sexual energy underscores the importance of conscious energy cultivation for the development of intuition. When we treat sexual energy as sacred and intentional, we open ourselves to deeper wisdom and insight. The clearer our energy channels become, the stronger our connection to the spiritual realm, and the more intuitive we become. Through the conscious cultivation of sexual energy, we align ourselves with the divine flow of life, allowing us to access greater clarity, creativity, and inner knowing. Ejaculation, or semen retention, goes beyond just being a physical practice. It becomes a profound act of self-mastery, rooted in the understanding that sexual energy is among the most potent and vital forces within the human body. The process of retaining semen isn't about repressing natural desires or abstaining from sexual expression entirely. Rather, it is about redirecting the raw power of sexual energy to a higher purpose. By choosing to conserve and transmute this energy, individuals engage in a form of energetic self-discipline, which can greatly enhance their intuitive abilities. When semen is retained, the body doesn't simply stop producing energy. Instead, it redistributes this energy throughout the system. One of the most profound effects of this practice is the rejuvenation of the body's vital energy, often referred to as chi, prana, or kundalini in various spiritual traditions. The process of transmutation converts sexual energy into life force that nourishes the entire system, circulating through the chakras, meridians, and energy centers within the body. This transmutation process boosts the body's natural vitality, strengthens the mind, and enhances spiritual awareness. When you engage in conscious energy retention, you don't just avoid the depletion that follows ejaculation, you actively harness energy for personal growth and transformation. In terms of intuition, one of the greatest gifts of this practice is clarity. When sexual energy is preserved, it fortifies the mind, providing the mental sharpness needed to process information more effectively and tap into the subtle frequencies of intuition. This clarity allows you to become more attuned to your inner guidance. With the energy not expended, the mind can engage more deeply with the world around you, picking up on signals, patterns, and insights that would otherwise remain unnoticed in a state of depletion. Physiologically, the practice of ejaculation impacts brain chemistry. By avoiding ejaculation, the body's production of testosterone, dopamine, and other key hormones stabilizes, leading to improved mental clarity, emotional balance, and physical vitality. Research into testosterone levels and their effects on cognition has shown that testosterone not only fuels physical strength and motivation, but also plays a critical role in cognitive abilities, including memory, decision-making, and focus. This means that the preservation of sexual energy through ejaculation directly impacts the brain's capacity to process information efficiently, which in turn boosts intuitive thinking. The cultivation of ejaculation is also a mental practice, an exercise in self-control, discipline, and delayed gratification. As Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca have taught us, Our greatest power lies in our ability to control our desires. By mastering the urge to release, we strengthen our willpower, which enhances our overall ability to make deliberate, informed decisions based on reason, not impulse. This mastery of the physical urges can lead to a greater sense of alignment with our higher self. The more we choose to direct energy for personal and spiritual development rather than for transient pleasure, the stronger our intuition becomes. Ejaculation becomes a gateway for individuals to reconnect with their divine potential. This practice allows for a reawakening of inner wisdom, which transcends the limitations of rational thought. When sexual energy is not squandered, there is more space for spiritual insight to emerge. This energetic shift encourages us to trust ourselves and the universe, fostering a deeper connection to our own inner knowing. By embracing this practice, we create a state of heightened awareness, an ability to see the unseen, to trust in the subtle currents of the world, and to feel a deep sense of peace and purpose. In a way, it's a conscious effort to open the mind and spirit to greater possibilities. Whether it's through intuitive decision-making in your career, personal relationships, or creative pursuits, ejaculation helps fortify your sense of self and empowers you to live a life that aligns with your true nature. When we zoom out from the individual effects of semen retention, we begin to see how the preservation of sexual energy fits into the broader narrative of personal development and spiritual growth. Sexual energy is not just a personal resource. It is part of a much larger system, the flow of life force that connects us to the universe. Every decision we make, every action we take, is a reflection of how we manage this life force. The larger picture is about understanding that our energy, both sexual and otherwise, is a precious and limited resource. It's how we use it that shapes the quality of our lives. The practice of ejaculation and sexual energy cultivation is part of a larger philosophical and spiritual framework that aligns with ancient wisdom and modern understandings of holistic health. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus understood that human beings are part of a grand, interconnected universe. For them, cultivating self-mastery, emotional resilience, and inner peace were not only about individual well-being, but also about contributing to the collective harmony of the world. In essence, they believed that our personal discipline and wisdom were integral to the greater good of society. This larger picture of sexual energy retention emphasizes that we are not isolated entities, but interconnected with the world around us. By cultivating our own energy, we are also contributing to the energy of the universe. The conscious decision to preserve sexual energy doesn't just elevate our own lives, it elevates our relationships, our communities, and ultimately the world. Sexual energy, when preserved and respected, creates an energetic field that enhances our ability to act with purpose, compassion, and wisdom. When we are able to connect with our higher self and maintain clear intuition, we become more aligned with our true purpose, which reverberates outward, impacting everything we touch. Moreover, the practice of conserving sexual energy ties into the concept of living in alignment. To live in alignment means to understand that every choice, every action, and every thought is a part of a larger purpose. When sexual energy is wasted through overindulgence, we are essentially out of sync with our true purpose and potential. We can think of this as a misalignment with the flow of life's natural rhythms. Just as a river needs to maintain its flow to nourish the land, our life force must flow through us without being blocked or depleted by impulsive actions. When sexual energy is conserved, it maintains the flow, ensuring that the individual remains attuned to the greater energies of the universe. From a spiritual standpoint, the bigger picture is about seeing ourselves as vessels of life force, divine energy that is capable of creating, healing, and transforming. This sacred energy can be used not only for personal growth, but also for collective healing. By choosing to master our sexual impulses and redirect that energy, we elevate ourselves and, in turn, contribute to the greater good. It's a recognition that our actions have ripple effects on the collective consciousness. As we consciously choose to protect our energy, we raise the vibrational frequency around us. contributing to a world where wisdom, clarity, and intuition prevail. In a broader sense, the practice of semen retention also connects us to ancient traditions that viewed sexual energy as sacred, whether it's Taoism, Tantra, or other spiritual paths that prioritize the cultivation of Qi or Kundalini energy. These traditions understood that sexual energy is not only a force of creation, but a gateway to spiritual awakening. By connecting with this deeper dimension of existence, we unlock the ability to manifest our intentions, connect with the divine, and ultimately understand our role within the grand cosmic order. Finally, the bigger picture is about achieving balance, balancing our physical desires with our higher spiritual needs. It's about mastering the physical realm while aligning with the infinite, intangible world of intuition and divine guidance. The more we master our sexual energy and redirect it toward higher purposes, the more we align ourselves with a life of greater wisdom, creativity, and fulfillment. This is the path of holistic self-mastery, where the mind, body, and spirit are in harmony, and where intuition can be freely accessed, guiding us on our journey toward becoming our highest selves. In this journey through the connection between masturbation, sexual energy, and intuition, we've uncovered a profound truth. The energy we expend, particularly through sexual release, has far-reaching effects on our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. What may initially seem like a harmless act of self-gratification can, over time, deplete our vital life force, clouding our intuition and limiting our ability to connect with higher wisdom. The practice of ejaculation, semen retention, is not just about withholding pleasure, but about harnessing the tremendous energy within us for growth, creativity, and spiritual awakening. Ancient philosophies, from Stoicism to Taoism, have long understood the importance of self-discipline and the conservation of vital energy. These teachings remind us that our desires are not meant to control us but to be mastered, so that we may live in alignment with our true selves and with the universal flow of energy. Just as the Stoics encouraged the cultivation of inner strength through self-restraint, the practice of preserving sexual energy helps us refine our focus, deepen our connection to intuition, and ultimately lead a more meaningful and purposeful life. As we begin to recognize the direct impact that sexual energy has on our intuitive abilities, we come to understand that by consciously conserving and redirecting this powerful force, we are not only benefiting ourselves but also contributing to the greater good. Every choice we make to protect our vital energy strengthens our connection to the collective wisdom of the universe, enhancing our capacity to make intuitive decisions and tap into a deeper, more expansive understanding of reality. This practice requires patience, awareness, and discipline, but the rewards are immeasurable. When we align ourselves with the higher frequencies of life, our intuition becomes a clear, powerful guide, leading us toward greater self-realization and spiritual fulfillment. The key to unlocking this power lies within us, and by embracing self-control and energy cultivation, we can access the untapped potential that lies dormant, waiting to be awakened. In the end, the bigger picture is not just about avoiding excess, but about creating space for growth, clarity, and divine insight. By mastering our sexual energy, we connect to a higher purpose, elevate our intuition, and live with greater intentionality. This is the path to a life of deeper meaning, where every decision, every action, and every thought aligns with our highest potential.